What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And listen, I'm going to try to make all 8 of the nightmare critters from Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Here they all are in all of their Chapter 4-ness. They are the same as the smiling critters as far as the pose, however there are a couple changes. You'll see they're also all very different. They do have different things going on, but there are a couple minor changes I made, which you will see later. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Our first one here is Baba Chops, which also has a full-scale version. I may make the larger ones, I'm not really sure yet, but anyway, here is Baba Chops and all of the choppiness. Yep, that's a word. That is a word, actually. Alrighty, so for Baba Chops, you'll be needing a 15 by 9 space. I just said 18, I don't know where that would have come from. Anyway, you want to start by getting out white wool, gray wool, black wool, black concrete, andesite, polished tough stairs, polished tough slabs, which we'll also use for blocks, I guess, and then you need smooth quartz slabs and bamboo slabs. I think that's everything. Some of these will be, actually no, we do need more than that. I'm lying. We need a couple for like the mouth. These will probably need more than the smiling critters for a couple of reasons, but I'm not going to give them their, individual list. I'll just tell you all of them. I think you also just need block of quartz stairs, and a singular nether brick. So, starting from the front left-hand corner of your 15 by 9 grid, cough, if you've made it, Baba Chops is completely symmetrical, except for one little thing, which we'll worry about later. But you want to start by counting right by 4, and going right, you'll place 2 white wool. You'll then leave a gap of 3 moving right and place 2 more white wool like so. Extend each white wool up by 1 so you have these 2 by 2s. And then go back from each of them with 4 gray wool. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. These will be better, I think, because of the variation. And then there's Icky Licky with, I think that's his name. I will make sure that that's actually his name, but I'm pretty sure that's it with the entire variation of everything. So you want to take the back row of the legs on either side and just bring them up with 3 gray wool in total. Both parts. The inner part you will then extend up an additional 4. Or the inner row, I should say. Just like so. Bring each gray wool row in by 1, including the top half of the leg, but you want to make sure you end 1 block off the ground, like so. You'll then down diagonally back from either of these gray wools, place another gray wool, and you will connect them across the bottom here. The rest of the gray wools can be connected with andesite. The zipper does not go all the way down on this one, that is intentional, I swear. Let's get the body shape, I guess, done and dusted. You'll start by bringing each side of the body back with 2 rows of gray wool. When you bring the lower portion, which is the portion that I'm doing right now, you will just end up having these back 2 rows up an additional row from that front row, like so. That's the only part that happens on them. Nothing else is particularly crazy. So from the side, it should look like this. The back is just filled in with gray wool. Why is Spotify updating on PlayStation? That's so random. That's the most... Oh, it already updated. Never mind. That was insanely fast. Whatever. I guess it is only Spotify. You should have this anyway. Let's make the tail. I feel like that might be good to get out of the way. If you head to the back of Baba Chops, which is just the flat gray wool, you will take the middle 5 gray wool at the bottom and just bring them up with 2 rows of black wool. Like so. The top, or the middle 3 black wool can each be brought up an additional 1, so you have this. Cool, I'm sure that's going to be fun. PlayStation Network, I guess, is still having issues then? You will take the middle, 3 by 2 of that and just kind of fill it in with black wool, like so. Maybe it'll let me join back. I've got a feeling that's going to happen more than once, though, between this and the chapter parts I have to record. Or maybe it won't let me join. I guess that's also an option. We'll do the arms as I wait here. If you want... Oh, there I am. You want to start from the, top corner of each side here with this gray wool. You will go out by 2 on both sides. And then down 1. out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll connect down to the ground with 2 white wool. Extend each gray or white wool just in by 1 to make the arms a bit thicker. And then both those arms can be extended back a row to just make them a little bit thicker so they're not just flat little pancakes. Because, you know, I don't really feel like you want those huggy arms, you know? Imagine those aren't particularly very useful in any situation. Other than, I guess, the aforementioned. Head to the top andesite on the kind of zipper point here, and you want to count down by 1 to place a polished tuff block. Left and right of that, you'll place polished tuff stairs facing outward. And then below those, you'll place polished tuff stairs facing inward, so you have this shape going. In the middle of them, you'll place an upside-down stair facing forward. Underneath that stair, you want an upside-down slab, and then off either side of that slab, you want upside-down stairs facing away. There's one more thing we have to do with this, but I want to do the tag real quick, because then we can get rid of those 2 things. So if you head to the right side of the body here, you want to be on the leg just before the body starts going up. You'll be in front of the arm by blocking on this gray wool. To the right of it, you'll place a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. That's just a little Playtime code tag that I did not notice it on the smiling critters when I made them, but I noticed it on these, so I added it. You can get rid of the last 5 materials in your inventory and get out. Gray concrete, which I completely forgot about until I just noticed it. Quartz stairs. Block of quartz. And nether bricks. And I believe that will finish off this build. So behind the 2 polished tuff stairs here on either side, where you kind of have the gap in the middle, you will actually break the gray wool you can see and replace it with a gray concrete. It is such a minor change, but it is what I did, so. Now we're going to make the head. This is going to be very weird. If you followed the smiling critters, this will be very different. You want to take the andesite here at the top and bring it up diagonally forward with a white wool. Extend the white wool both left and right by 2. And then up diagonally out by 2 on either side from there. You'll then go up 2. Into. Down diagonally in by 1, and you should just connect together from there. Extend that row, or that entire thing, forward a row. And then a block behind these 2 rows, you want to fill in the entire thing with black concrete. There is one nether brick block, though, and it's not in the normal spot. It is actually from the bottom row. It's in the center here, just kind of up diagonally back from that white wool. It is there because of the teeth would be blocking it if it was higher, so I pushed it down. It's different on most of them. It is up, but I think there's one other that I pushed it down on, which I can't remember who it was. I don't know their names very well. Anyway, I knew the smiling ones better. Anyway, above the nether brick at the top half here, you will place a block of quartz with an upside down quartz stair off either side of it, facing away from it. Nice. Now, let's, I guess, do the head, or the rest of the head, rather, with the white, and then we'll make the black wool parts. So, from the rows of 3 white wool here on the left and right of the mouth, the kind of upper hanging rows, you will take the back middle white wool and extend it up by 1. You'll then go in with 2 black concrete and then a white wool in the center. Here's a weird one. This is gonna, well, okay, this part isn't weird. You'll just place white wool below that. That checks out. However, for the top, you want to place a black wool in the very center. You will extend it left and right with a white wool and then out with a black concrete from there. And I guess you can place a black wool on the edge here. Not really important just yet, but anyway, you should have this. We will start with the middle black wool. You will bring it out by 1, and we're going to do the thing we usually do for the hair like this, where we go off either side at the same time. It'll just make our life a little bit easier. So from the black wool, you will go up diagonally out either direction by 1. Then going out from that, you'll leave a gap of 1 and place another black wool. I'll just use a placeholder gray there. You'll then go down by 1, out 1, down 1, down diagonally, out 1, and then down 1. You will skip to the, like, outside of this kind of one diagonal of white where you'll place a black off either side. And then on the bottom row of 5, you'll place one every other, starting with the first and ending with the last. So you should have this, essentially. It looks really strange, but we'll get there in a second, I swear. We will start from the same point again, this black wool, or at least the, I guess, the original one we placed, which is this one in the center. You'll extend it up by 2, and then out on either side by 1. Go down diagonally, out 1, out by 2. You'll then end up going out with a white wool, then bring it down by 1, and then down from there with 4 black wool. You'll then just go down diagonally in by 3, and you will connect together at the bottom there. Like so. There we go. That gets the shape a little bit better, so you can start to kind of see it shape up a little bit better. It still isn't quite there, but, you know, we're getting somewhere. Next row back, you will start from the middle top black wool here and just bring it back by 1 again. You'll then extend it out by 3 on either side, and then go down diagonally out 1. You will then go out with... This is going to be weird. You're going to go out with 3 white wool, down by 1, down diagonally in by 1, and then down with 2 black wool. We're just kind of doing the ears as we're doing this because we might as well. You'll then go down diagonally in by 1 again. I'll actually look at the back here. Down 1, and then down diagonally in by 1 to connect kind of the outside of the shoulders. Like so. We'll fill in the ears later. That might be happening on the next row, but I really don't know. It depends if it's in our way or not. You will again bring the center black wool back by 1. Then go out on either side from that by 4. And then go down diagonally out with a black. Then down diagonally out with a white. I'm on the wrong side there. That's so cool. Which will end up covering up the kind of back of the ear there. And then you'll go down from that with 4 black wool. You'll then go down diagonally in by 1 and down 1 to finish off that row. I would actually, while we're at it here, if you notice the ears, like the inside, there's kind of a gap here. I would just place a, I believe it's a white wool there. Yeah, it is a white wool, just so you don't have the gap to the inside of the head, because that looks so weird. Starting from the top black wool again, and you'll bring this back with a black wool. You'll extend it out on either side by 3, and then you'll go down diagonally back by 1. Debating if I wanted to do 2 or not. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down 1, and then down diagonally out by 1. Then down 1 again, and then down diagonally in by 2, and then down 1 again, and I guess go in 1 just to fill in that kind of bottom there. Although you'll notice that later, I'm sure. Anyway. Now from the top again, you'll take the middle black wool and go down diagonally back by 1 again. You'll bring it out on either side by 3. And then you'll go down by 1 on either side. I would also place another one just inside of that block on either side so we don't get confused with that later, because that will create a gap if we don't. You'll then go down diagonally out from the outermost black wool by 2 on either side. Then down 1. Down diagonally in by 1. Down 1. In 1. down one, and then you'll connect together across the center. The spacing you have left, you will fill in an additional block back in with black wool. Just to kind of give some shape. So that will also be important, I guess, so we added that extra row. Because, yeah. And that will be Bava Chops done. There is your little tiny sheep. Well, I guess not very tiny. I mean, I feel like a midget next to this thing. I'm so short. I'm unbelievably short. Anyway, yeah. Now on to the next one, which I think is Icky Licky, but I still need to check that name. Next up is Icky Licky, who is a little bit more simple, I would say, but is a block-for-block dream or nightmare, depending on which way you look for it, or look at it. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to it. So, the Salamander Man requires a 13 by 8 space, and I think he also requires exactly 9 materials. So to start off for him, you need yellow wool, gray wool, gray concrete, black concrete, nether bricks, mangrove slabs, dark oak fence gates, smooth quartz slabs, and bamboo slabs. You will need these two for every single one, along with probably the black concrete and nether bricks, I would assume is a good assumption. Anyway, starting from either the front left, actually no, do start from the front left-hand corner of the 13 by 8 space, cough, cough, if you made it. You want to start by counting right by 3 this time, and going right, you'll place 2 gray wool. Extend the left one up with a yellow and the right one up with a gray. Leave a gap of 3 moving right and do a similar thing. You'll just have the bottom 2 as gray and the top 2 as yellow, though, instead. Or the bottom row and top row. Something like that. We're going to just bring each row all the way back with the number that we need. So we'll start from the left foot, I guess, and go back from the left gray wool. You'll bring it back with 1 gray, 2 yellow, and then 3 gray. The top one will be brought back with a singular yellow and then 5 gray. From the inside, you'll take the bottom gray and extend it back with 1 gray and then 3 yellow. And the top will be 2 gray, 1 yellow, and then I'm going to say a gray concrete as a placeholder, just so we know that's a little bit different. From the right side of the bottom leg here, you'll take this gray wool and extend it back with 2 yellow, and then 4 gray. And then the top one is just all the way back with 6 gray. The bottom inner gray here is going to be brought back with a gray and then 3 yellow. And the top is fairly similar to the other side. It's 2 gray, yellow, and then your placeholder concrete. Extend the placeholder concrete on the left up with a singular gray wool, 4 yellow wool, and then 2 gray. Extend the right gray placeholder up with 2 gray wool, and then 3 yellow wool, and then 2 more gray wool. We'll do the outer left row first. So just to the left of this, you'll go up with a gray and 2 yellow. That's literally it. On the right, you'll go up with just 3 gray. Might be beneficial to do the bottom first and just work our way up from the body with each row. So if you start from the middle between the legs, you'll have the same row of gray wool back diagonally in by 1. So essentially you have this kind of it's almost a plus shape of yellow, except the bottom will be cut off, and it'll just be a block behind that 3rd yellow there. You'll bring that up diagonally forward with another row of gray wool, except you have a gray concrete in the center. You can bring the gray concrete all the way up. And then we'll start with the gray on the right, which will be brought up by 3. Then up with 2 yellow and 2 gray. The left side will be brought up with 2 gray, 2 yellow, and then 3 gray. That's pretty much the front of the body done. Now let's do the rows on the sides here. If you start from the left, you will take this first gray, this little row of 2 here, and you will extend this one up with another gray. And then it would be 3 yellow, Up diagonally, in with a yellow, and then up with... We'll go 2 gray, although it's not actually visible, whatever it is. You will basically copy that row moving back one more time. The only thing is the bottom yellow is a gray instead. So you have this from the side. Let's do the right side, I think, next. That'll be probably the best way to go. So both grays we will do, at least to start, at the same time. You'll just bring them both up with 5... Yeah, no, 4 grays, sorry. Not 5. So you should have this. Then from the front one, you'll go up diagonally in with a yellow, and from the back one, you'll go up diagonally in with a gray. You'll then go up from either of them with 2 yellow. For the back, let's start with, from the base, just 3 rows of gray wool connecting the bottom here. And if you were looking at this, you will go from the left to the right for each row, and you'll do as follows. For this first row, it'll be 3 gray, yellow, gray. Next row will be gray, and then... Actually, the next 2 rows will both be a gray, and then 4 yellow. And then again, gray, 4 yellow. And then you'll be down to 3 in the middle here, which is nice. This first row will just be 3 yellow. Next will be yellow, gray, yellow. Final one will be yellow and then 2 gray. So you should end up with this. Now the arms. From the... Well, let's go back to the front first. We'll take the front top left-hand gray here and extend it left with 2 gray. Down with a yellow. Left with a gray. Down with a yellow. And then a gray. Left with a yellow. Down with 4 gray, and then down with a yellow. On the inside of each block, you'll start from the top here, and from this yellow, it'll be another yellow. Then on this little row of 2, it's 2 more yellow. Then on the main row of 5 here, it's 2 gray, yellow, gray, yellow. We can't quite bring it back, so I'll explain this the best that I can, and we'll actually start from the bottom and kind of do it row by row. So if you start from this yellow here at the bottom, you'll bring it back with yellow. Then on top of it, 3 rows of gray, and then on top of that, 2 rows of yellow. The top portion of the shoulder can be gray wool like so. For the other arm, we'll do the same kind of thing. You'll start from the top right-hand gray, and you will extend it right with 2 yellow. And then down 1, right 1, down by 2, right 1, then down with 4 gray, and then a yellow. Now, this is a fairly similar side, I would say. If you start from the top, I guess, again, you'll place a yellow to the left of this one, then left of both 2. Then the top gray will have a yellow left, and then below it will be gray, yellow, gray, yellow. So you have this. If you take the back of the arm, you will extend the kind of top 2x2 square of the shoulder, which is this one right here, just back with yellow. And then from this kind of, if you're looking at it, it'll be the bottom left yellow, just extend it off either side with an additional yellow. You'll also bring the bottom yellow back, and then everything else here is just gray. So that is what the back looks like, fully done. The head is a little bit easier. It's not quite there, although I guess before we do the head, we should get the sticker and little zipper pendant thing out of the way. We'll start with the little tag. To the right leg here, you will do the same thing as you did on Baba Chops if you've made Baba Chops. You'll take this kind of gray wool just behind the little row of 2 yellow and bring it out with a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. The little thingy, pendant, whatever it's called, is fairly simple. You'll come to the top gray concrete and count down by 1 and place a mangrove plank. Left and right of that plank, you'll have mangrove slabs, and down from either of those slabs, you'll have planks. In the center here, you'll have an upside down slab. Over each of the 3 mangrove planks, you'll place dark oak fence and open the dark oak fence gates and open them up against the mangrove like so. That's a little it's a biohazard symbol, I believe, which checks out. Salamanders are, in fact, poisonous, can confirm, in case anybody needed a science lesson today. Anyway, you will take the top middle gray concrete and extend it up diagonally forward with a yellow, and we'll do the same thing we did for Babachops to start here. You'll go left and right with 2 yellow, then up diagonally out from the ends of that by 2, up 2, into, down diagonally in by 1, and connect together. And then you'll extend all the yellow forward a row. There's not any gray patterns just yet, but there will be in a moment. A block behind the back row of yellow, you'll fill in the mouth in with black concrete. Make sure you don't go behind the yellow itself, you're just filling in the gap. And then the top center will be a nether brick, not a black concrete. Which is just like the smiling critters were. The front of the face is actually completely symmetrical, which is kind of helpful for us. If you take the middle yellow on the left and right here, on the leg rows of 3, you'll take the backmost 1 and extend it up with 2 yellow. Then go up diagonally in by 1. And then down diagonally in by 2, which should connect them. And that, I would be terrified if that walked into me. Even if those eyes were filled in, that is terrifying. Extend the middle yellow here down by 1, and this bottom one can be brought left and right by 1. You'll have these gaps, which you can fill in with black concrete. By the way, I don't push the eyes back on these, because I mentioned in the smiling critters, I know, that it did look good, but they're like button eyes, kind of, so they aren't actually inset. They are, if anything, outset more than they are inset. Anyway, you'll fill in the kind of middle between the eyes at the top here, and with gray wool, like so. Now, this is where the symmetry is no longer with us. We will start from the bottom here of the head, and you'll take the yellow wool row here at the bottom, and you'll bring it back with 3 full rows of gray wool, except on the backmost row, you only want the middle 3. You want to kick out the left and right. And then for the rest of the mouth itself, you'll bring the yellow back an additional 1, which is really just the 1 diagonal along with the row of 3 here on the side. Then on either side from there, this part is still symmetrical. You'll go up with a gray wool, up diagonally in with a gray, up 1, and then you'll connect together. The next row of the head is the same shape, however it is different. So, well, actually, is it symmetrical still? This one is, funnily enough. It's I didn't think it was, but essentially, the entire thing is gray wool, except for the middle top 3. These are yellow wool instead. So if you look at it from above, you should have this, essentially. But yeah, everything else is gray. It's very, very comedy. From this point, you'll take the yellow and extend it back an additional row, and then you'll extend it to the left by 1. You'll also extend it right with a gray wool from the top here, and then you'll go down diagonally out on either side with a yellow wool. On both sides still, you'll go down 1, then down diagonally out with a gray, down by 2, down diagonally in by 1, and then in 1. You will take the, if you're looking at it from the back, you'll just take the top 2 rows here and just fill them in with yellow wool. If you are looking towards the front, you'll take the leftmost yellow here and kind of bring it toward you diagonally down with a gray. Right of that, you'll place 2 yellow, 2 gray, 2 yellow. And then you'll just bring that entire row down with gray wool until it fills in the entire back of the head, no more, no less. And there is Icky Licky done. I feel like that was shorter than Babachops by like 2 minutes or something. Kind of expected it to be longer because of all the block for block, but oh well. So the next one on our list is Rabie Baby. That is such a weird name. I really don't want to ask any further questions about it, but I hear she is in all of the... What is she, actually? I don't know. I don't want to know either. So as was the case with the smiling critters, the numbers will always be on the left for the space back. So you need a 13x9 for Rabie Baby. I will also mention she has wings in her like original, I guess, art that Mob posted. Those aren't on the plushie version, so I didn't make them, but I figured I would mention that because I do realize that the wings are in fact a thing, just not on this particular version. Anyway, the materials need for her to start off are magenta concrete, pink wool, white wool, gray concrete, black concrete, nether brick, magenta wool, red nether brick slab, and what do we end with? It's a really good question. Maybe smooth quartz slabs? Kind of a weird, like, set that we need here. But anyway, you want to start from either the front left or front right hand corner of your 13x9 space golf if you've minute. She is entirely symmetrical other than the tag on the right side, but that's not really important yet. You want to start by counting right by 3, and going right you'll place 2 magenta concrete, leave a gap of 3, and then 2 more magenta concrete. Extend each of them up with an additional magenta, and then you want to extend the bottom magenta concretes back with 4 pink wool, only the bottom ones. The top ones you'll bring back with 3 pink wool instead, which will give you this. Because of the legs being different colors, this is how I ended up doing that. Hold on, okay. So, I guess behind the top row, you can actually place white wool, which will connect together in the middle, ignoring, or I guess making sure that you do have a gray concrete got in the direct center. Down diagonally back from that row, you will have a full row of white wool, because these zippers do not go as far down on these, at least in my version of them. It might have been like that originally, but that's not particularly something that I paid attention to. Anyway, you want to bring the white wool gray concrete row up an additional 3 rows. You'll then leave the left and right open and just extend the middle, I guess, 5 rows up with an additional 4 of their respective blocks. Which will give you this. We might as well make the little pendant right now because I said so. You want to take the top gray concrete and count down by 1, and just going down from here you will place 3 red nether brick blocks. And then an obsidian slab below that. Left and right of the bottom full block, you will place another red nether brick block, and with a slab on top of either of those. She is I think a bat, or like a vampire bat or something. So this is a little blood drop. Pretty cool, I guess. You can extend the sides of the body now back with 2 rows of white wool, which will include this pink here on the sides. Just kind of pretend that it's not pink. When you do this kind of bottom row of the body, you will extend up an additional row from the front, which will leave you with 3 rows on the, like, I guess, top where it kind of thins in a little bit. Like this. I guess it's weird to explain, but yeah, I don't know. Just look at the thing. Fill in the full back of the body in with white wool up to the top row. And then we'll do the tail, I guess, to get it out of the way, which is a really weird tail. It's not actually like a tail. It's like almost like a sheep's, like, wool, or like a cotton tail. I don't know, or a bunny tail. From the back center, you'll go back with 2 white wool. You'll extend each of these white wools off each of the 3 sides by 1 to kind of create this shape. The row closest to the body, you will kind of just square off on those corners by placing an additional white wool on each one to give you this. Yeah. Now, for the arms, that'll be our next step, you will take the kind of top corner on either side of white wool, and you'll go out from this one at the front with 2 pink wool on, again, both sides. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then down with 2 magenta concrete. As per usual with these, you will extend each of the magenta concretes and pink wools just end by an additional 1 to thick out the arms a little bit. I'll give you this. It'll basically never touch the body fully. I mean, the back row does, so essentially I guess when you bring these back a row, which you should do, you will have 1 pink wool that kind of goes next to this white here, which is where the kind of body sticks up a little bit on the sides. It is better that it's not entirely not touching, because the arms and the, like, general just sitting pose are fairly close to the body, but I don't want to make them up against, because when you have same color arms, it just gets weird, which most of them are. This is one of the few that isn't. Before we start the head, I think you can get rid of magenta concrete and get out bamboo slabs, and I want to just get the tag out of the way. So on the right side of the body, you'll take the, not the backmost pink wool on the bottom here, but the one in front, and you'll place a bamboo slab right of it, and then a smooth quartz slab right of that. For, not right now, but for a little bit, you'll actually get rid of your bamboo slabs and get out smooth quartz stairs. That'll be important, again, not just yet. You want to take the top row of the body, this row of 5 with the white wool and the gray concrete, and extend it up with a row of white wool, and then extend that row forward by 2. Then on really all 3 rows, you'll go up diagonally out by 2 on either side. Up by 2. In by 2. Down diagonally, in by 1, and then just connect together. Fill in the furthest back row in with black concrete fully, and the middle, like, top block will be another brick. Like this. We'll do the teeth later, we just don't have the diorite walls just yet. And I think we need structure voids? Yeah, we do. So, on the back row, or is it the back row? I guess it's the middle row, actually. On the left and right here, you'll just take this white wool and extend it out by 1. And then from that out one, you'll go down diagonally back with another one. These are these little, like, tufts that kind of stick out. A couple of these characters have them. You'll see it a couple times. I know Poe does later on, but that's the only other one I can think of. Either way, you will then take the front row of white wool here in the center and place a row of smooth quartz slabs just on top. Extend the center one forward by 1, and then down with an upside down slab. Extend that upside down slab both left and right with upside down stairs that will face into that slab, which will mean the, I guess, little divot will face towards it. Essentially think of it as if you were walking up those stairs, I guess. That's the side you'd be looking at, or which would be the front. Facing the front, I guess, rather. Which I guess still implies the same thing, but either way. Behind the row of 3 smooth quartz slabs, you'll place a row of magenta wool. You'll extend the middle one up 2, and then you'll, okay, just ignore that shape for a sec. You'll go out on the side from that top one by 1, and then from those up 1, out 1, down diagonally, out 1, and then down 1. So that fixes whatever we just had as a problem. Fill in the little triangles in with black concrete. It always happens, every time. In the, like, top center here, you will place a white wool between the magentas. I feel like it might be a good time to do the sides of the head, as in the lower part, and then we can do the upper part and focus on the ears. So you should have 3 rows of the mouth part. You will end up wanting this to be 5, so you'll just bring all the white wool back an additional 2 rows. Except for this bottom row of 5, if you bring it back, which you probably should, you want just the middle 3 on the back row. But, and also do make sure to ignore the tufts of fur along with, not really doing the top because you don't need to, but it should look like this from the back. Yeah. From the little rows of white here, you'll go in by 1 to kind of fill in the gap above this, and then go back diagonally in by 1 and connect together. The other 3 rows are just back diagonally in by 1, connecting together with white. You should be used to this at this point in theory, because we have done that so many freaking times at this point. Direct your attention back to the front here, and what you want to do from this point is you want to essentially place white wool behind each of the magenta wools, and I guess this white wool in the top center, just for the point of it. So you should end up with this. There's one more thing we have to do with that row, and it's taking the, I guess, the bottom and top white wool rows and just extending them out an additional 1 to give a little bit more shape to the head, like so. I believe it's the top one. No, I guess they both are there. Never mind, usually. You can bring that row of white back an additional row with white wool. I'll undo the outer ones. And then back an additional row. You'll just kind of fill in the center of the head. Now, for really the purposes here, you'll be from this row of white wool. Here you'll go kind of forward diagonally in by 1. And I'm just going to make it 3 rows tall because we have the ears to worry about anyway. You would have those corners punched out normally here to create this shape, but I'm going to have them there just because it doesn't matter. We'll have to place them anyway for the ears. Before we do the ears, though, I want to direct your attention to this front and center white wool. You'll bring this white wool both up diagonally left one, along with up diagonally back by one. And then we can do the ears from there. From this back white wool here, you'll count back by 2 to the back row of the head, and then count left and right by 1, where you'll place a white wool on either side. You'll extend both of them up by 1, and then up diagonally out by 2. Out 1, down diagonally out by 1, down by 3, and then you'll go down diagonally in by 1. Fill in the center of these 2 ears here in with pink wool, just in line with the white wool. You'll, on the back side of the ears, just cover all the pink wool with white wool, and then hold on, I want to make sure that that is correct, that we don't have any extra blocks. We do not. And on the front, you'll just kind of bring all the, like, the outer edges of the white wool ears just forward a row, so it insets the pink a little bit. And it looks better that way. Just add some shading, really. We do have to do the teeth, so let's get that out. I guess clear your inventory, because whatever, and get out the direct walls along with the aforementioned structure voids. If you are not familiar with structure voids, it is /give at s structure underscore void. If I can spell it, oh my lord. Just like that, that's the command. I do recommend keeping these on you because I love to use them in tutorials, obviously only ones that are creative influenced, but anyway, you want to head on the inside of the mouth, and you'll be in line with the back row of the white wool out of the 2, and just left and right of this center here. You'll place going down just 2 diorite walls on either side. Now you'll notice the top diorite wall goes just like towards the inside a little, like extra, what is that, probably a 1/6 of a block or something, or an 1/8 of a block, whatever. You'll just place a structure board on the outside of that top one as well to make the teeth a little bit more pointed, and so it's not just like almost slanted kind of. And yeah, that is Rabie Baby done. I want to call her Maggie, but that's the shark that's Maggie. I don't know why I'm getting him confused. Next up is Allister Gator, and here he is. He has a tail, which is fun. Actually, not many of them have long tails. You see there's, I guess, 4 over there that do, and those are really the only ones. But yeah, here he is. So because of that tail, Allister requires a 13 by 15 space, and the materials you need for him to start off probably are green concrete, lime wool, birch planks, gray concrete, stone slabs, stone stairs, smooth quartz slabs, oh god, this is bamboo slabs, and like what else is there to get reasonably here? I guess black concrete, and then we'll just have to get rid of these two when we don't need them anymore. So starting from either the front left or front right hand corner of your 13 by 15 grid call 50 minute, Allister is perfectly symmetrical. Yes, he is. You will start by counting right by 3, and going right you'll place 2 green concrete, leave a gap of 3, 2 green concrete. Extend either green concrete up by 1, and then you will take again the bottom row of green specifically and extend it back with 4 lime wool. Just like this. The top row will be as follows per row. It'll be 1 lime wool, 1 green concrete, and then 2 lime wool. Take the outer, like, corners of the legs, which will be this lime wool on either side, and extend it up by 3 with lime. Then extend those rows of 3 in with 2 rows of birch planks, which will have a row of gray concrete in the center, like so. Extend the birch and gray concrete down a row, and then from that bottom row, you'll go down diagonally back with a row of lime wool, like so. Extend just the birch and gray concrete up an additional row at the top here. And then you'll bring it up with... really 3 rows of lime is technically all you need to do, along with obviously the 3 gray. Now, if you want to like add a birch kind of on the inside on that bottom, or you can. It doesn't matter. You can't see it anyway, but yeah, I guess that is just something to consider. I do have it like that, but again, you can't see it anyway, so I wouldn't really think about it too hard. You'll extend all of the lime on the sides back an additional 2 with still lime. Now, that will leave you with a gap where the birch is, and I guess I worded this way specifically, although you probably know what to do anyway. You'll just take these back 2 limes and extend them up by 1 on that bottom row to fill in that gap, except just a little bit more up. Fill in the back of the body in with fully lime wool. Just like this. Nice. We might get the tail out of the way again. Yeah, we can. We might as well. So you want to be on the back of Allister's body, and we're going to do the funny thing where, like, going towards him would be backwards, even though it's forward on the grid space, and, you know, etc. Left is left, or left is right, right is left. Something like that. I might have... I don't know. You'll take the bottom center lime wool and count up by 1 and bring it towards you with 4 birch planks. You'll then go down diagonally, forward 1, forward 2, and then forward with a lime wool. Left and right of each birch plank, you will place more lime wool, along with more on top of the birch. The 2 rows closest to the body of lime wool, you will just place more lime wool on the corners to kind of create this. Leaving the first lime wool open, you'll head to the second one and you'll place a green concrete on top. Then just going towards the back, or towards, I guess, forward, technically, you'll leave a gap of 1, green, gap of 1, green, and then you should be left with 2 at the end. The same thing actually goes up his back, so if you start from the block just above the tail, you will leave this lime open along with the one above it, and on the next one you'll place a green, gap of 2 moving up, and then another green, which will be on the top lime. Just as a little... What are they, actually? Like, what is the official term? I guess it's just the spine of the alligator. I'm assuming he's an alligator and not a crocodile, because if he was a crocodile, he'd be called Allister Croc and not Allister Gator. Or Allister Dial, I guess? I don't know. You'll take the top 4 or front green, lime wool on either side, not green, and you'll extend them out by 2. We're going to start the arms here. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 4 this time, and then down with a green concrete. Extend each of the greens and limes in by 1 with their respective block, except there's one exception. From the bottom, when you place this green concrete on either side, you'll place a lime wool on the next one, and the next lime wool will be a green concrete. Just a little bit of a... I don't even know what it is, honestly, but it's there. Like, almost reminds me of a hand, I'm not gonna lie. Then from there, you'll just bring everything back with their respective material, except for that green that was an exception before is yet again an exception, because it's brought back with lime wool this time instead. Just really on that, like, inner corner of his arm. He's not the only one that does that either. I think it was Icky Licky had something like that on at least one of his hands. I don't know if it was both or not. Can't remember. Anyway. Let's do the tag, and then we'll do the little pendant, as I'm calling them. On the right side, just in front of the arm here, you'll be on this lime wool, and you'll go out with a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. Head to the top gray concrete here on the body, and you will count down by 1 and place a stone stair, facing forward. Below it, an upside down stone stair also facing forward. Left and right of each of those, you'll place stone blocks. And then out from those stone blocks, you're placing really a slab in every direction. Now from this top right one, it'll be an upside down slab to the right and a regular slab on top. Top left will be upside down left and regular on top. Bottom left, it's a regular to the left and upside down below, and then it's just a, you know, kind of that. You have this shape essentially once you're all said and done with it. I want to say it's 2 bones crossed, if I remember, but obviously this is Minecraft, and I'm working with like a 3x3 space pretty much, so it really wasn't particularly great to make, but, you know, there's a... You can get rid of your stone slabs and stone stairs, along with your smooth quartz slabs and bamboo slabs, and get out diorite stairs, diorite walls, and nether bricks, and I feel like that's everything we need. So I guess move your black concrete forward. And we will start with the, I guess, top of his head. So you want to start on the gray concrete and bring it up with a birch plank. Extend the birch plank left and right by 2, and then bring that whole row of 5 forward by 2 rows. You'll then go up diagonally out on the other side with 1 birch plank, and then 1 lime wool. Then go up by 2 with lime. In by 2. Down diagonally, in by 1, and connect together. We might as well do the entire thing now. Just take the, like, very center row of lime here and extend it up a row. Don't really need it for all 3 rows, but we might as well just do it. For the mouth, it's in line with the back row of everything. You're filling it in with black concrete, and again, the kind of top middle block is a nether brick, which would be, I guess, below where his mouth kind of peels back down. Just like so. Let's do all the teeth. Left and right of that nether brick block, you'll have a couple of upside down diorite stairs that face towards it, like so. Still along the top of the mouth, you'll count out by 1, so you're not in the, like, outer corners, but you're kind of in the inner corners here, and you'll place an upside down diorite stair facing towards the outside, like so. Then in those top corners, you want a diorite wall, along with kind of the bottom corners. It'll be just inside this birch plank here on the left and right. You'll have more diorite walls. And those are all of his teeth. A lot of teeth on these. I feel like I would not want to give my child something with that many teeth, but to each their own, I suppose. You will do the same thing we've done before, where you'll essentially take the, like, I guess outside of the bottom of the head here, which will be the lime and the birch, and just extend it back with 2 rows of lime, except this bottom row will be 1 full row, and then the middle 3 on the back row. Should hopefully all be, like, fairly the same at this point. Bottom row, or this little row of lime wool will be brought in by 1. The bottom one, I guess it isn't already closed off, and then you'll go back diagonally in by 1 and connect together. Top 3 rows are all just back diagonally in by 1 and then just straight connected together, and that will give you this shape for the back of the head so far. You want to head back to the front, and these 3 rows of lime wool, I mentioned this kind of wasn't necessary, but you'll actually take this middle lime wool, and we can use this to our advantage. You will extend it left and right by 1, along with this center one up by 3. The middle of that 3 lime wool will extend left and right by 1. And the top one will extend left and right with 2 green concrete. You'll then go down diagonally out with another green, and then just down with a lime wool. Again, fill in those triangles with black concrete. And then, I guess we'll just extend the, like, outer edges of the head back with 3 rows of lime wool, like so. There you go. You'll fill in the back with lime wool perfectly, and then you'll take the middle 2 and do the same thing we did before. You'll take the top row and extend it out, and then the bottom row and extend it also out. And I believe, oh no, we have the little, like, spikes to add on the back of his head, I guess. Which is not his spine, because there's 2 of them. Either way, head to the back, and they're 3 blocks apart from each other, so you'll just take, really, if you take the row of 5 lime wool at the top, you'll count down by 1 from the edges of 5 and place a green here on either side. Then going down, you'll leave a gap of 1, green, gap of 1, green. And that is Allister Gator done. Nice. And that is half? Yes, half. I can count to 8, I swear. Next is Simon Smoke, and he might be one of my favorites just because he has wings and they're cool and I love wings. He's the only one that has wings for some reason, and yeah, did I mention I like the wings? Anyway, yeah, that's really all about him. Now, the space you need for Simon is a 19 by 15, which is by far the largest out of any of them, including the smiling ones. And you want to start by getting out for him red nether bricks, red wool, gray concrete, smooth quartz blocks, bamboo stairs, bamboo slabs, smooth quartz slabs, red nether brick slabs, and we'll go diorite walls. And that will finish his entire body, and nothing else. We won't be able to start the head, which is fine, I guess. Yet again, he is fairly symmetrical, other than like some stuff later on, but that's not really important yet. You want to start from either the front left or front right hand corner, cough cough if you made it, if you were grid. And you want to start by counting over by 6 to the right, I guess, and you'll place 2 red nether bricks. God lord. You'll then leave a gap of 3 and place 2 more red nether bricks, and then extend each of them up by 1. Then extend each of them back with 4 red wool. And from that point, you'll take the outer corner, back corner of the legs, I guess, and extend them up with 3 red wool. The inner corners you'll bring up with 4 smooth quartz, and then also 3 red wool. Extend both of those, like, inner rows in with a full row of smooth quartz blocks, preferably not forward, like I just accidentally did there. And also these smooth quartz will extend 1 below, so it's 1 off the ground. In the center row, you'll place gray concrete, and at the bottom, you'll go back diagonally down by 1 to connect to the ground with red wool. Extend the sides of the body, release each red wool back with 2 red wool, and then where you will end up with a gap for the smooth quartz, you will just extend the kind of lower portion of the red up to fill that in. And yeah. You'll then also fill in the back with red wool. My gosh, I don't know why my voice is always doing this in videos. It's only in videos too, I don't understand. You should have this. Let's make the arms first, I guess. You'll take the top front corners of red wool and extend them out by 2. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then down to the ground with 2 red nether bricks. Extend each red nether brick or red wool just inwards by 1, and then you can extend each of the arms back a row with their respective materials. Whoa, lag. Oh, more lag. It's funny, I'm usually fine, but every once in a while it'll just happen. I'll start lagging for a couple seconds. Like, really bad. Bedrock moment. You'll take the top middle gray concrete here on the zipper and count down by 1, and facing to the left on this block, you'll place an upside down bamboo stair. I just said facing left, but whatever. Right of it, you want an upside down slab, and left of it, you want a plank. Extend the plank down with 2 upside down stairs facing left. And the top one of those 2 will be brought right with 2 upside down stairs also facing left. And the bottom one will be brought right with 1 upside down stair facing left, and then an upside down slab. And it will give you this, which is a little dollar symbol. Not only is he a dragon, he's also smoking with money, apparently. On the right side in front of his hand here, you'll take this kind of red wool and bring it out with a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. We cannot do the tail quite yet, which is unfortunate. Although we might do a weird inventory switch for that in a moment. Direct your attention to the back, and if you look towards the front, this is symmetrical, so you don't really have to worry about directions, and it's all in one kind of line. But you'll take the top center red wool on his body, and you will count down by 1, and out on either side by 2, where you'll place a red nether brick. You'll then extend it out 1, up 1, up diagonally, out by 1, out by 2, down diagonally, out by 1, out 1, down diagonally, out 1, and then down by 2. Moving inside of that bottom red nether brick, you'll place 2 diorite walls towards the center, and then an upside down red nether brick slab from there. Extend that slab up with a nether brick block, and then you'll go up diagonally in with another red nether brick, which will then connect up to the center of the row of 3. Just to make it easier, the kind of outer segment of the wings will just be filled in with diorite walls above the walls that we've placed. The inner I'll explain in a second. Although the inner is fairly easy. You will take the first red nether brick block we placed, and you'll extend it down with a diorite wall. You'll then extend that diorite wall out by 3, and anything above these can be filled in with more diorite walls, which is really just a little bit of a gap like that. And there are his wings. Not too complicated. You can get rid of, I want to say the diorite walls. Yes. We'll go get rid of the diorite walls. Boy, I'm getting the buffering symbol. That's always a great sign. Gray concrete. Bamboo stairs. Bamboo slabs and smooth quartz slabs, I think. And just push everything forward that you have. And get out an addition. Red terracotta. Yellow terracotta. Black concrete. Nether bricks. And I guess we'll go mangrove stairs. Makes the most sense, I suppose. Still in the back of Simon's body, you will take the kind of bottom center red wool and count up by 1, so you're on the one I am on right now. If you made Allister, it's the same exact tail, just different blocks. So you'll bring this one back with 4 smooth quartz blocks, or I guess towards you. Then down diagonally, back by 1, I guess, back 2, and then back with a red terracotta. Place a red terracotta left, right, and on top of each smooth quartz block. And then the 2 blocks closest to the body, you'll place some red terracotta in the corners. Starting from the center here, closest to his body, you'll leave this first red open, place a yellow terracotta on the next one. Gap, yellow terracotta, gap, yellow terracotta. And up the back, you have the same thing. So you'll just really start by taking the third red wool above the tail. So this would be the first, second, third. Yellow terracotta, and then count up by 3 again and place a yellow on what should be the top block. We can now start his head. On top of the smooth quartz and gray concrete here, you'll place red wool and extend it left and right by 1 to create this row of 5. Extend that row of 5 forward an additional 2 rows. And then from each of these 3 rows, you'll do the same thing. You'll go up diagonally, out by 2. Up by 2. In by 2. And then from this point, you only want to do it with the back 2 rows, but you'll go down diagonally, in by 1, and connect together. You just leave the front row open like so. Because on the front row, on the left and right red wools, you'll place a couple of mangrove stairs that will face towards each other. On top of those, you'll place another set of mangrove stairs that face away from each other and kind of towards the outside, which will give you this very strange shape. It reminds me of like a bull's nose for some reason. You can get rid of the mangrove stairs and get out mangrove planks for literally 2 seconds, because you'll place mangrove planks in the center here, between these stairs. And then get rid of those and get out diorite stairs. The mouth is the same as always. It is the back row of red in the mouth. You're filling in with entirely black concrete, except the top center block is nether brick. I almost said red nether brick, but that would be incorrect. Nice. That looks so weird. He needs his teeth immediately. So let's add them. Left and right of this nether brick block, I almost said netherrack that time, or netherite, one of the 2. You'll place upside down diorite stairs facing away from it like so. Down diagonally out from those, you'll also place diorite stairs that also face out. They just aren't upside down this time, and it will give you this. Very jagged, but works, so I'll take it. You want to take the row of red wool just behind the snout here, which is the mangrove part, and you'll bring it up with just a row of red wool in the center to create this kind of flat line. It almost looks like a dumbbell. The center red wool you will bring up by 3. And then the top 2 blocks you will extend left and right by 1. And then the top block you'll extend out an additional 1. You'll then go down diagonally out by 1 and then connect down to the mouth. Fill in the little triangles with black concrete. This should be fairly familiar. That's the word I was looking for. I'll just start by telling you to extend this portion of the head back by 3 rows. It will overhang because we forgot to do the bottom, but it's fine. We'll do that just now. Although I guess first, you'll take the top and bottom rows out of this thing in the center 2, specifically of just these top 3, and you'll extend them out with an additional row of red, just to give it a little bit more shape like so. Now for the bottom of the mouth, this should be fairly similar or familiar. You'll bring the whole thing back with 2 rows except for the bottom row where it's 1 full row and then a just row of the middle 3. These little 1 diagonals will be brought in by 1, back diagonally in by 1, and then connected together. And the 3 rows above it, excluding the top that we have, you'll go back diagonally in by 1 and connect together. The top 2 rows here are just filled in with red wool. Kind of a block, I guess, inside of the bottom there. There isn't really anything on the back that's important. I mean, there's the hair, but I guess that's what we have to do next, isn't it? No, we do the ears next. The ears make more sense. So back to the head back to the front here, and you want to take out of the kind of 2 like blocks that stick out here on these sides, you'll take the back one specifically. And well, you can actually get rid of smooth coarse blocks and get out white wool, because you'll take this red wool and extend it out with 2 white wool. You'll then place red on each side of it, which is really, I'm just talking about the top, left, / right, and bottom. The red on the top and on the outside, which will be either the right or left, will be brought forward by 1, but the bottom you will not touch. The back row of red here on the top will be brought in by 1 to give the ears a little bit more shape. And then you can also fill in the white wool from the back just by placing red wool over. And I'd also bring it in by 1 to connect it to the head a little bit better, and it kind of creates this weird flat line. It won't be noticeable as much though, because we'll do the hair in a moment. From the row of red wool that sticks in the most on the ears, just inside of it you'll place a yellow terracotta on both sides and then extend it up by 1 to give you this. That is Simon without the hair, the luscious locks, if you will. But between those yellow terracotta at the bottom, you'll place red nether brick. Just a row of 3. You will take the center one and extend it up with a red nether brick slab. Extend both the block and the slab forward by 1. And then extend the slab from there left with a block. Extend the block forward 1, left with a slab, and then forward with another slab. Both those slabs can be brought down with opposite down slabs. Behind this row of 2 red nether brick, which is kind of the highest hanging point, I guess, if you will, you'll place another red nether brick behind it, which will just be to the right of this little yellow terracotta horn. You will want a red nether brick slab on top of it. And then you'll end up bringing the block with the slab on top just back by 1. You'll then go down diagonally back by 1. Down by 2. Back with a slab, and then down with 3 blocks. Just to the left of this, which would be behind this horn here, you will place behind the bottom yellow a red nether brick, go down diagonally back 1, down by 2, and then back with a slab. To the right of this, we will start from this little row of 2 slabs. Or specifically, I guess, the blocks under it, because you'll take this block and extend it back by 1. Then back with a slab. Down with a block. Back with a slab. Down with a block. Down diagonally back with a block again. Down 1. Down with an opposite down slab. In with a block, or I guess forward with a block, rather. Then you'll go down by 2, and then back with a slab. From this bottom block here, you'll go right from it with a slab with an upside down slab below it, so you have this kind of, because that won't connect to the next row, and we might as well just add it now. Speaking of the next row, you'll head back to the top where you have this lone red nether brick, which you will extend back by 1. Then back with a slab. Down with 2 blocks, back with a slab, then down with 3 blocks, and down with an upside down slab. And then the final row you will start just not really behind this yellow terracotta, it'll actually be behind this red wool kind of below it, which is this one. You'll place a red nether brick behind it, extend it down by 2, back with a slab, and then down with a block. And according to my calculations, that is Simon Smoke done. Now it's on to one of the easier ones, because we have literally one color we're working with for the entire character. Next up is Poe, who is very, very purple. I don't really have much to say about this character, other than, I don't know, like, look at it, it's a character. Crazy, insane, but, yeah. So, Poe will require a 13 by 12 space, and the materials you need to start them off are blue terracotta, gray concrete, stone slabs, bamboo stairs, smooth quartz slabs, bamboo slabs, black concrete, and nether bricks, and I think that's everything we actually need. So, starting from the front left-hand corner of your 13 by 12 space, still cough cough if you minute, you want to start by counting right by 3 and going right, you'll place 2 blue terracotta, leave a gap of 3, and then place 2 more blue terracotta. Extend each of them up by 1, along with each of those now 8, back by 4 each. And that'll give you some legs. Kind of stubby. You'll then take the outer kind of back corners of blue terracotta and extend them up by 3. And the inner ones you will extend up by, I want to say 7, but like, yeah, it is 7. Extend both rows of 7 blue terracotta in an additional row, which will also extend one lower than what we have, although it will be one off the ground still. And then you'll fill in the center with gray concrete. From the bottom of that, you'll go down diagonally back with just a little row of blue terracotta to seal off the floor. Yet again, you're extending the sides of the body back with 2 rows of blue terracotta, except at this lower level, you will want to bring the blue up an additional row, so it ends up being only 3 rows at the top on the kind of inner portion. And then fill in the back with blue terracotta as well. Poe has, like, a different colored, I want to say it's a different colored chest, along with the beak, I believe, is slightly different. But it's so subtle, I didn't actually make it a different block. I was thinking about using blue concrete or something, but there's just nothing that's close enough to, or purple concrete even. But there's nothing close enough to this that would be, I think, justify using it. It's like 2 very slightly different shades, but either way. Let's just get the tail out of the way because it's, like, really easy. If you're out of the back here, you will take each of the 3 center rows of the bottom here and bring them back with 4 blue terracotta each. The center one can be brought back an additional 1. Little raven's tail. You will then take the top corners, and we'll do the arms now at the front here of the body, and extend them out with 2 blue terracotta. I don't think I should specify it anymore. Go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, and then just down by 5. Extend each blue in by 1. And then just both those arms can be brought back a row as well. Just like that. You will take the top gray concrete here on the zipper and you'll place a stone slab in front of it. Extend it down with a stone block, and then that stone block can be brought both left and right by 1. Underneath the center stone block, you'll place a bamboo stair facing left, and then an upside down bamboo stair facing right. Always interesting how ravens, and I guess crows more than ravens, are kind of linked to storms. I'm just thinking of Hello Neighbor even. No, I guess that is ravens in Hello Neighbor, isn't it? It's called Raven Brooks, after all. You'll take the 5 center blocks of the body, which will be the gray concrete and the 2 blue left and right of it, and just extend that up a row with, you guessed it, blue terracotta. Extend that forward by 2 rows, and then with each of the 3 rows, you're doing the same thing again. You'll go up diagonally, out by 2. Up by 2. In by 2. Down diagonally, in by 1, and then connect together. Yet again, you will fill in the backmost row of the mouth in with black concrete, except the top center is a netted brick. It's interesting they all have the little... I guess it's a speaker, not like the catnap gas, although I think that's where the gas comes from. Probably. I don't know. We'll actually start with the bottom of the mouth this time so I don't forget. You'll extend all of it back with 2 rows of blue terracotta, except the bottom row. We'll have the back row as 3 instead of 5, where you're just taking 1 off either side. Whoa, I don't need to go that far. You should know the drill. Bottom little row of blue terracotta, in by 1, back diagonally, in by 1, and connect together. Other 3 rows are back diagonally, in by 1, and then just straight across. This might be the shortest one. You will take the, like, middle center blue terracotta of the head and extend it up by 4, if I'm doing my math right. Extend the top and bottom ones each left and right by just 1 for now. And then you'll actually take this kind of top blue terracotta on either side and extend it both down and out by 1 to kind of create this. From those top outer ones, you'll go down diagonally out by 1, and then connect down to the blue. Fill in the eye sockets with black concrete. And then I guess we'll start with the top of the head, and then we'll do the beak, because that is kind of important. You'll just take the, like, outer edges of the top of the head here and bring it back with 3 rows of blue, along with, I guess, filling in the back as you do this, because we might as well just get it out of the way. Like so. Yet again, the center 2 rows are brought kind of left and right an additional block on the top and bottom rows, so you have this. Doesn't look terrible as is. It reminds me of Icky Licky if he got spray painted. Don't know why that's my, thought, but it is. You will take the row of 3 here on the top of the mouth, and you'll extend it forward with another row of blue. The center one can be brought forward an additional 1, and then... ignoring the outermost blue, you'll just take, I guess, the middle 2 here and extend them up by an additional 1 to create the beak. Off the left and the right, there is one little thing that is the same, and it's... if you take the center... so you have 5 blue terracotta, I guess, on the side here, on the mouth portion. You will take the top center one, which is this blue, and you'll extend it out by 1. You'll then go up diagonally forward by 1 as well. That looks strange, I'm not gonna lie. Let's just get the rest done first. You will take these top centered, like, middle blue terracotta and extend it up by 1. You'll then also extend that one back by 1, and then either of those 2 can be brought to the right by 1. Off the front right blue, you'll go right 1, forward 1, and then down diagonally right by 1. Just like so. There is one more thing. If you look at the back, you will take... where there would be the, I guess, top corner here. It'll be the top right corner if you're looking from the back, like this area. You'll kind of count down diagonally left by 1 to this blue and place another blue terracotta off of it. Again, from this angle, you'll go up diagonally towards you and to the right with a blue, so it is in that position from the previous one. For the tag, because we forgot that, it'll be off of the, like, back row of the legs, just to the right of the bottom of it. You'll place a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. And there is Poe done, and that is 6 of 8. Not bad. Next up is Touille, or maybe Ratatouille, I don't know, but his name is just Touille, I swear. And, yeah, here is. Here's our second to last one. The last one is, I think Maggie is the shark's name. I forget. For Touille, you will require a 13 by 18 space, and the materials you will be needing to start off are cyan terracotta, gray wool, light gray concrete, warp stairs, warp slabs, pink concrete, smooth quartz slabs, and bamboo slabs. And that'll do everything but the head as per usual. You also need for the head, oh my god, black concrete, nether brick, quartz slabs, granite slabs, and granite walls. And according to my calculations, that's everything. Starting from the front left-hand corner of your 13 by 18 grid call if you've made it, you may start from the front right as well. You will start by counting right by 3 and going right. You'll place 2 gray wool, leave a gap of 3, 2 more gray wool. Extend each one up with a singular gray wool pair, and then extend each of those back with 4 cyan terracotta. Bottom one is included, I guess, just every gray wool. And those will be the legs. You'll take the back outer corners of the legs and extend them up with 3 cyan terracotta on either side. The inner ones you will bring up with 4 light gray concrete. My goodness gracious. And then 3 cyan terracotta. Just inside that row on either side, you'll place a row of light gray concrete that will stick down 1 additional block so it's 1 off the ground. And then you'll connect all the light gray concretes together with gray concretes. At the bottom, down diagonally back a row, you'll place a row of cyan terracotta. On the left and right, you will bring the cyan terracotta, each of them back by 2. And then where you have the light gray concrete, you'll essentially place cyan terracotta back from it, but it'll be out a row as well, so it'll just fill in the side like this. And it'll look a little bit better that way, at least in my opinion. It just adds a little bit more shape to the body. I don't know why I'm explaining this on this one particularly. This is like the 15th one in total, but you know. You will fill the back in there with cyan terracotta. I'm sorry for those of you who have made all of these. I think that is a good amount of people because I just feel like a lot of you care enough to make them all. But you will hear the same things a lot. Or will have heard them a lot, I guess, because, you know, we're pretty much done. There's one more after this guy. Let's do the tail first. The tail will be the easy one to get out of the way. So if you head to the back center of the body, you'll take this cyan terracotta and extend it back with 6 pink concrete. Then from the back of that, you'll go back diagonally left 1, back 2, back diagonally left 2, left 1, and then forward diagonally left by 1. You can curve it more if you want. Just like roughly kind of figure out how many blocks you think it should be based on that. I'd say if it's in a straight line, or if you have it diagonally as opposed to a straight line, it should be less amount of blocks just because it's not like a ton of less. Like maybe like 1 less for the angle that I have if I were to have made it straight. Just to kind of, I guess, adjust for the corner lengths and stuff. Anyway, we'll do the arms now and then we'll do the pendant thing, I guess last other than the tag. Although we might do the tag before, I guess. Off the top 2 corners of cyan terracotta, you'll go out on either side with 2 cyan terracotta. Go down 1, then out 1, down 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll connect down to the ground with 2 gray wool. Extend each of those gray wools and cyan terracottas in by 1 to create a better arm. You can see how much better that looks, rather than having a noodle for an arm. Mommy long legs reference, I guess. Extend the arms also back an additional row, just so they aren't also pancakes. I don't think that's a reference to any character, unfortunately. Darn. I should make a bronze statue. I know that's random, but I'm just thinking about that. Like, other statues that I could make that aren't the actual main characters yet, because if I can avoid doing them, I will. If you are unfamiliar with the tag, it's fairly simple. It is on the right side, just in front of the arm. You'll kind of take the back row of the leg, I guess, and you'll go out with a bamboo slab and then a smooth quartz slab. From the top gray concrete, you will count down by 1 in the tops, or in the center here of the body, and you'll place going down 4 warped planks. Just make them out of slabs. You'll then place an upside down warp stair facing left below that. Right of that stair, you want an upside down stair facing right, and left of it, you want another upside down stair facing left. Extend each of these up with, it's going to end up being 3 warp slabs, and they're going to be half a block apart from each other. So it'll start just on top of either of these stairs, and you'll have a half a block gap, slab, half a block gap, slab. Off the top warp plank, you'll have an optional warp stair off the left and right, facing the way you would think. And that is the little fish. Fish bones, I guess. It's not really a fish. Used to be a fish, I'm sure. We can start the head, I think. That doesn't particularly feel unreasonable. If you take the top gray concrete here of the zipper, you'll bring it up with a cyan terracotta. You'll extend it forward by 1 and then forward with a light gray concrete. And you'll extend really each of these 3 blocks, I guess, left and right with their respective materials. Or I guess going both ways. You'll go out by 2. Good lord, words are hard. Oh, good lord. And so is placing blocks. Then you'll go up diagonally out by 2. Then up by 2. Okay. Still can't place. Good enough. Then in by 2. And then down diagonally in by 1 and connect together. We'll fill in the mouth later. I just want to kind of get, I think, as much as we can done with the materials we have. Although, I will do this much. I'll tell you to get rid of your gray wool and get out black concrete. It's not really important just yet. It'll be important in a second, though. At the sides of the head here, you should have 2 rows of cyan terracotta back. You'll end up extending the back an additional 2 rows, at least on these sides and bottom. You don't need it on the top. Except do remember that the bottom row of 5 here is only brought back by 1 row, and then the back row will just be the middle 3. Just like so. You should know the drill. These rows of 1 cyan terracotta will be brought in by 1, back diagonally in by 1, and then connected together. The top 3 rows are just brought back diagonally in by 1 and connected together from there. That's the bottom of the head. For the top, we will start in the center here, just behind the light gray concrete here, this front center one. You'll count back by 1 and place a light gray concrete here. On each of the sides you can, you'll place a cyan terracotta like so. Extend the top one up by 2. And then extend the top 2 each left and right by 1. And then the top 1 from there can be brought out an additional 1. And then you'll go down diagonally out with a cyan terracotta and then down 1. Yet again, I would extend that entire row of the head back by 3 additional rows and then fill in the back row from there with cyan terracotta. Which will give you this. At the left and the right, you should know the drill here. Out of these 4 rows, you'll take the middle 2 and you'll extend really the top row and bottom rows just to the side an additional 1. The middle row does kind of get left open, but it just adds a little bit more shape to the sides like so. I would maybe advise filling in the triangular eye holes in with black concrete because that's kind of important. And yeah, just clear your inventory now and get out. We do still need cyan terracotta. And black concrete, I guess. You also need nether bricks, if I could close my categories. Quartz slabs. Granite slabs. And granite walls, and also light gray concrete, because I did forget about that step. Which we'll probably start with that, actually. We'll start with those, yeah. On the left and the right of the head, just behind the row of the mouth, you'll kind of end up taking the top corners of the mouth of this light gray, and you'll count back by 1 and place a light gray concrete off that cyan terracotta on either side, like so. You extend those down by 1. Just adds a little bit more shape. This guy's a lot more. There's actually one more little tuft at the top here. If you take the top front center of cyan terracotta of the head, you'll count back by 2 and place a cyan terracotta there. Place another one forward diagonally right by 1. And then from that one there, you'll go up diagonally left by 1. So you have this. It looks like a baby. I did not realize that ended up being like that. Okay. That just straight up looks like a baby. You want to take the, not the front row of cyan terracotta on the inside of the mouth, but 1 row back and fill it entirely in with black concrete. The bottom center of him is the nether brick this time. It is not the top or whatever, it's the bottom center. That still looks like a baby. You want to, below the middle cyan terra, or actually I guess below each of these 3 center cyan terracottas, you'll place a quartz block below each. Below the center one, you want an upside down quartz slab. It still looks like a baby. I guess the ears are the difference maker here. So let's do them. We will start as making them symmetrical, and then there's like a couple blocks left to punch out on one of them, which is not really a problem. Out of the 2 center rows, you'll take the back more row, and you want to be just kind of in line with the outer row of the eyes. It's the row where you have 2 black concrete up, and it'll be this cyan terracotta on either side that you will bring up by 3. Kind of position like that. That looks so goofy. You'll then go up diagonally out by 1 from that. Out 1. Down diagonally out by 2. Down by 2. Down diagonally in by 1, and then you'll just connect into the head, like so. Fill in the center with granite walls. Okay. Of both of the ears, I guess. And then behind each of the granite walls, you'll place a cyan terracotta. 1, 2, block it off from the back, and 2, it'll give the granite walls a little bit of texture. Or I guess depth, rather. Nope, okay, that's cool. You still kind of create these ridges. It's really hard to tell. It's not really a huge thing, but if you do care, it is kind of interesting. On the right ear specifically, which is this one, this row of 3 cyan terracotta on the far right, you will break the bottom and top blocks in it, and then it'll give you this. If you want to place structure voids in their place so the granite walls do go out to the same length, you can. I think it looks a little bit better to not actually have them go out that far. But it is up to you, and unless I'm missing something painfully obvious, that would be Touille done. And so I am missing something painfully obvious. You will take the, like, top-centered light gray concrete here of the mouth and just place a granite slab on top. Just, he needed his nose. I knew something looked off, and that's what it was. And finally, we have Maggie Mako. I think that's how you say that. Mako? Maybe Mako? Mako? I don't know. It's a shark or something like that. I'm assuming it's a shark, at least. Anyway, here she is. I have nothing else to say. Alrighty, so the space you need for Maggie is a 13 by 14, and the materials you'll be needing to start off are cyan concrete, light blue wool, white wool, gray concrete, oak slabs, smooth quartz slabs, bamboo slabs, black concrete, and another brick. You also just need smooth quartz stairs, and I'm pretty sure, actually I guess also smooth quartz slabs, but those are the only other things you should need for this build, unless, again, I'm missing something painfully obvious, but I don't think I am. Starting from the front left-hand corner, if you're 13 by 14 grid golf if you may. You may also start from the front right if you choose. I believe she's completely symmetrical other than the tag. You will start by counting right by 3 and going right. You'll place 2 cyan concrete, leave a gap of 3, 2 cyan concrete. Extend each cyan up by 1, and then each of the 8 cyan in total can be brought back with 4 light blue wool. Just like this. You'll take the outer corners of light blue wool and extend them up with 3 light blue wool. The inner ones you will extend up with 1 light blue wool, 3 white, and then 3 light blue. Again, on both sides. You want to extend the white wool in an additional row. And then from there you'll extend it up by 2 along with down by 1 with white. And then just have a light blue on the top and bottom from there, which will give you this. Fill in the center row there with gray concrete, and then from the bottom you'll go down diagonally back with a row of light blue wool again. You should probably know the drill from here. You'll take each of the light blues on the sides and extend them back with 2 rows of light blue, and then where the white is, you'll have the light blue kind of out a row going back from it, but I guess it's not straight back from it. It's along the outer row of the body, just to give a little bit more shape like so. You will also fill in the back of the body in with light blue wool, and we can do the tail, I guess, while we're back here. That sounds like a fun time. The tail is fairly simple. It's nothing crazy. So up against the body in the center here, you'll go up from the floor and just place 3 cyan concrete like so. Behind it, you will place a row of 2 that is just 1 shorter from the top. Behind the top cyan of that row of 2, you will extend it back by 2, and then either of those 2 cyan there can be brought up by 1. You'll then take the back cyan again and go from this top back corner. You'll go back 1, up 1, back 1, oh my god, up 1, back 1, up 1. From the original little row of 2 right here, out of the 3 we kind of just placed, it'll be this first 1 diagonal. Or I guess it'll be the middle, actually, this one right here. You'll take the bottom cyan and extend it down by 2 and then back by 1, and that is your shark tail right there. Probably might be the coolest looking of the tails, in my opinion, that I made. Let's do the arms now, assuming I don't lag out. I shouldn't in theory. You'll take the top corners of light blue wool here, and you'll extend them out by 2. You'll then go down 1, out 1, down by 2, out 1, down by 3, and then you'll connect down to the ground with 2 cyan concrete. Again, extend each of the blocks in by 1 to thicken out the arms. And then you'll extend the arms back an additional row as well to just make them 2 blocks thick. They will be 1 off the back row of the body, which is fine. That is how they are. You can't center a 2-block thing on a 3-block area, which is a little unfortunate. Anyway, you should have this. We'll do the tag real quick. The only thing that's asymmetrical. So head to the right side specifically. And you'll take the back row of the legs before the body comes up, and it's just in front of this arm here. And coming out from the leg, you'll place a bamboo slab and then a smooth cord slab. Head to the top center gray concrete now at the front of the body, and we'll do the little pendant thing, as I call it. You'll count down by 2 and place an oak plank here. Extend it left, right, and down with oak planks, so you kind of create this. It's not quite a plus shape, but it almost is. From the top corners of oak planks here, you'll go up diagonally out with another oak plank to give you this shape. Inside of those top oak planks, you'll place oak slabs. And then below all of the oak planks you can, except for, I guess, the middle row here, you'll place upside down oak slabs. So it'll be below these outer ones and then the just next row in. And it'll give you this shape. This is, I want to say it's shark teeth, which is a little bit ironic when you think about it, but that's why I'm going to choose to not. So now we can do the head. You'll take the gray concrete here, this fun little top guy, and you'll extend it up with a light blue wool. Extend the aforementioned light blue forward by 1 and then forward with a white wool. With each of the 3 rows, you do the same thing with their respective block. You'll go left and right by 2. And then you'll go up diagonally out by just 1 for a second here. Because then when you go up diagonally out a second time, you'll use full rows of light blue wool. This is the only white on the face. It's just like this little line at the bottom of the mouth, almost like a chin. A little bit of a goatee or something. You'll extend the light blue on these sides here now up by 2. Then go in by 2. Then down diagonally in by 1 and connect together. For the hell of it, because we'll have to do it anyway, you'll end up taking the middle row here of the head and just bring it up with a row of light blue wool, like so. Fill in the mouth in line with the back row of what we have in with black concrete, making sure the top center block is the nether brick this time. Okay, I'm struggling. There we go. And it'll give you this. Extend the light blue on these sides here back with an additional 2 rows, making sure that on the bottom row, you only have to do these sides and the bottom, but on the bottom row, the back row have 1 block taken off either the left and the right, or both the left and the right. I'm struggling with my elytra. Classic. Then from this point again, it should be routine. You'll take the little diagonals of light blue and extend them in by 1, and then back diagonally in by 1, where they will connect together. The other 3 rows will just be brought back diagonally in by 1 and connected together straight across. Bottom half of the head. Where are her eyes? What did we do with them? You'll take the middle row out of the 3 here that are kind of fully filled out, and you will take this light blue wool here. This kind of top warning will extend it off each side with a singular light blue, just like we did with the light gray on Touille before. It'll give you this. This light blue here at the top will be brought out by, or up by 2, excuse me. And then you'll take the, I guess we'll go the top block, which will extend left and right by 2. And then the block below that, you'll extend left and right by 1 to give you this. From the row of 5 at the top, you'll go down diagonally out on each side by 1, and then connect down to the head. Fill in the funny little triangles with black concrete. Extend the light blue on the top of the head here back with 3 rows, and then you will end up filling in the back row when you do so. The middle 2 rows on this particular portion of the head, you'll take the top row and bottom row and just extend them out with a little bit of light blue on those 2 rows, which will give you this kind of shape. That looks much better. Looks so basic, without any ears or anything. I don't know, it's weird. You'll take the top of the head here, and you'll take specifically the back light blue wool here, where you'll place a cyan concrete on top. You'll extend it forward by 1 and also back by 2. The middle 2 blocks of the row of 4 you'll bring up with a cyan concrete each, and the row that just sticks behind the back of the head can be brought down with 2 cyan concrete right there to give you this, and that's the little top fin. The infamous shark fin. You can clear your inventory, and you just need smooth quartz stairs and smooth quartz slabs, which we actually also have. I will get out smooth quartz blocks because I think I do use them, but it's like 2 blocks, so you don't really need it. I guess it's 3 actually. So we'll start with the blocks, I guess. You'll take the row of the head that is... It's this row of light blue wool right here, the front row kind of that is dipped down in the center, and you'll count back a row and just break this full row of light blue wool and replace it with smooth quartz blocks. The left and the right blocks can be brought down with upside down slabs. And then you're going to want a lot of smooth quartz stairs here, and you're going to have sets of them that face towards each other, and also make sure you have the divots facing like towards the outside. So in the top left hand corner of the mouth, you'll place an upside down smooth quartz stair facing left here. This is going to be really annoying to place. There we go. Right of it, you'll have an upside down stair facing right. Kind of the opposite on this side, you'll take the top right corner and place an upside down stair facing right. Left of it, upside down stair facing left. In either bottom corner, you want smooth quartz stairs facing towards the light blue wool here, and then you'll have stairs facing towards the center from there. You'll end up with a block in the center, which you'll just place a, well, smooth quartz block in like so, and that'll give you those rigid teeth like so. And I'd say that looks pretty good and about what you would want. And, yeah, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all of the Nightmare Critters complete. Now, before I actually, I guess, do anything else, or end the video completely, I do want to talk about the Poppy Playtime statues for, like, 2 seconds. The main thing right now is, I think Yarnaby is the one I'm working on the most. I do have Huggy ready, and I do also have Yarnaby, like, almost ready. Pianosaurus I've made some progress on. I've got a lot that I've kind of been making steps towards. I think Yarnaby will be next, but he won't be block for block, other than maybe Huggy might be next. I'm not sure. Poppy I also plan to do, so yeah, I will be doing most of the Chapter 4 characters, along with just kind of side characters, like maybe Braun I might do. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, or night, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.